Hi everyone, in today's live stream we're gonna be finishing this beautiful shower by grouting. So first I'm gonna put some tape on the ceiling, and this ceiling was primed, so I know that I'm not gonna peel the paint when I'm gonna be removing this. And anyways, the top I'll be using caulking, not the grout, so I just do it pretty much for these seams. Okay. Hi everyone, thank you for joining. Hi Uncommon Woman. You can see this bathroom that I was live streaming while I was installing it. So now we're gonna be doing some grout in this bathroom in order to finish it. So drop in the chat if you have any questions, guys. So for now I'm just putting the tape on the ceiling. Just really quick in order not to get our ceiling dirty and not to make the painter mad about me doing this stuff. So I'll be grouting it right in a second, guys. So drop in the chat if you can hear me well, if you can see me. Just want to make sure that I have nice internet connection and good volume. Let me know if you can hear me, so we can continue without being interrupted. Okay, that's it. Just like that. Thank you for joining, everyone. Hi, the boys on Roblox. I like Roblox. My son likes Roblox also. Spark you. Sounds good. Thank you. It's good to know that I can stream and there is a nice sound as well. So consider giving this live stream a like by double tapping the screen, and subscribe to the channel as well, guys. So, and let's start putting the grout in the seams. Connection is good. Okay, that's great. That's great to know. Thank you. So we're gonna start. Today I'll be using Mapei Ultra Color Plus FA grout. This is the sanded grout, and it's pretty nice and durable, and it's pretty much rapid setting grout replacement for sanded grout. So why they call it replacement? Because they used to have like a sand, but now they use like a glass. Pretty much it's like small tiny pieces of glass, like silica, I believe. So that's why it's called replacement, and it's fast setting, so we have to be fast. So I just mixed almost whole package, and it's not usually the way how you do when it comes to grout, because it's fast setting and you won't be able to clean. Like you can do the whole bathroom in just one hit. You have to mix it a few times and take care of the small areas. But this style is ceramic, so I'll be pretty much doing the whole thing at one moment. And the reason for that is that when you deal with ceramic tile, when you push it into the joints, then it starts absorbing the moisture from that grout almost immediately, and it gives you less time to wait before you can wipe it off. So I'll be able to do the whole shower on one mix. And this is why I like ceramic when it comes to grout, because you can do it fast. If it was porcelain, it won't absorb water that much, so you won't be able to clean it right away. So I use a trowel from Love's. It's called epoxy trowel, and I like it that it's always flat. It's not getting bent, because I used to have like a Mapei trowel, and it used to it tends to bend, and then you have your trowel maybe after like 1 year or 6 months like bald. So it's not something you want to see when you spend about $20 on the Grout trowel. So yeah, pretty much I'll be working, doing the whole thing at once. So we will start from this wall, then I will take my sponge. Usually you have to wait like for setting time, about 30 minutes or 40, it depends. Sometimes it's catching up on it starts catching up maybe after 50 minutes after you start. It depends like how cold was the water that you used, what tile it was. So if it was porcelain, that would be definitely around 15 minutes until you can wipe it off. And then when it kind of starts catching up, you won't be able to wipe the whole shower at once. You just pretty much have to take care of one wall, or do like separate mixes for each wall, because it will harden. I've seen a lot of comments from people who are like DIYers, and they don't like this like rapid setting grout. But if you're a professional, it gives you some flexibility, like in speed. You can do it nice and fast. So I can already feel how it's like hardening on the seams. You see, it's like you try to take it off and it won't. And also this tile it's glazed, so I'm not wiping off the tile. And if your tile is not glazed, you have to use your sponge and make it slightly damp. Thank you for joining, guys. Thank you for your likes. Thank you very much. Let me bring it closer, maybe a little bit, just like that. So yeah, that's why I like dealing with ceramic, especially when it's glazed. And as you know, I let this shower sit for quite few days. So now it's much better, and it will absorb the moisture, even the seam set behind the tile and deep inside the joint. It will absorb pretty fast. When you press it, you always have to press in nice and firm, so then it pushes in and not only stays on the top of your seam but goes deep inside the tile. And for sanded grout, or like ground replacement like they call it, it's really easy to work with it, because it has that kind of sand wherever in it. When you wipe it, it kind of helps you. This sand helps to cut this joint nice and flush. And if it's like non-sanded grout, you will be wiping off the grout. So I personally don't like non-sanded grouts, because they're much weaker and doesn't give you such a uniform joint. The only time I decide to use non-sanded grouts is when you have some kind of a tile that is easy to scratch, because even that stuff can scratch glass and stuff like that. Yeah, you see this grout is already dry because I'm kind of taking it off, and it's already dry. So in the bucket it's much more smooth compared to what I just removed from the tile. So it's better also to use a little bit less so you can have it nice and creamy. Thank you for joining. Hi, David Remodeling. Good to see you, David. Hi, Face 13 Store. Thank you for saying high five. Drop in the chat if you have any questions, guys. So let's continue. Let's continue the grout. So when you do it, you always have to kind of press it in like that. And then you wipe it off. You press it in again. Make sure it goes deep, nice and deep. And for these kind of verticals, you can do like that as well, or you can use the narrow side of your trowel and just push it in also like that. The main thing you want to do like few moves when you tap it, kind of tap it into the seam. Because if you don't do that, it will be just on the surface and it won't catch that good. And when you remove it, you have to hold it like diagonally, like 45 degrees. So as you can see, we already did like 40% of this wall, and it's been like 12 minutes, so it's pretty decent result. So let's continue. When I'll be done with this wall, I will start wiping it off. So you will see that, like I said, when it's ceramic, you can deal with it immediately. And also, it's pretty warm in this house. They turn on the heat, so it will be especially easy to wipe it off. Because even though it's not hardened yet, it will be nice and ready. Okay. And we also can see it like during this live stream. You'll see exact time when it will start catching up, and I'll let you know, so you'll know how many minutes you have before the stuff usually start hardening. And usually I don't put any grout in this corner unless it's your decision to do so, because then I'll use my caulking gun and the color matching caulk to fill this gap so it remains flexible. But if I will kind of build it with the grout, then it will be just cracking over the time. So you don't want to have any cracks. Or I mean, you can grout it if you want to, but you need to top it with caulking or silicone, whatever you want to use. So it's better to have color matching caulk. I know that it looks kind of messy, but it don't matter, because when you start wiping it off, like it looks just perfectly fine. So we are about like half wall completed. So also you want to kind of press it into that seam between the Schluter edge trim and the tile as well. So you also need to fill it around the mud guard. I already sealed the go board around it, so even if any water will go through it, I will have my waterproofing dealing with it, and it will be no problems whatsoever. And I'm pretty sure with like having this mixer constantly being messed up with, I'm pretty sure the grout will make like a teeny tiny crack. So but guys asked me to put the mud guard, not the Schluter O-ring or any other stuff, because they like to be able to maintain these valves and these connections, and it's much easier to do if you have this uh, square body kind of thing. So okay, just pressing it in. Just like that. Let me know in the chat where you're watching from, which state, which country, or if you have any questions, let me know as well. Also consider subscribing to the channel and give this live stream a like by double tapping your screen. Let me check the chat, guys. Thank you for staying tuned. Hi. So you will Jaja HP. Hi. Uncommon moment. So you will also caulk silicone where the tape is instead of grouting. Yes, I will. I just put it. I will. I'll put the caulking. I just put it not to screw up the ceiling and not to make it dirty. So thank you for floating hard. Face searching store. Bone toes. You missed a spot. Yeah, absolutely. I always miss some spot. Aloha and mahalo. A little too dry. Spray bottle. I mean, it dries because when I take it off the wall, then it's kind of like more dry than it's in a bucket. So no matter, I mean, I can use spray bottle, but the thing is, I don't want to, because it will be faster and easier for me to wipe it off. It will be nice and hard enough for me to form the seam. So now I just want to see if I'll be able to do the whole shower just from that one mix, because if I'll be quick enough, I should be able to do that, and we'll be able to see it live, guys. So it should be pretty quick. Just like that. So pretty much if I will keep it like for each wall around around 20 minutes, I should be able to do the whole shower probably. With the fact that these walls there, with the fact that it's quite warm in the house. And it's ceramic as well, so. Just like that. Just like that. Okay. I always like to do my tile past the shower base because it looks finished. Like when I was discussing like the layout and all that stuff, the guy was like, "Are you sure you want to do that?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely," because I want to make sure it's nice and solid. And I was also able to make it symmetrical. As you can see, it's like 1, 2, 3 tiles, and then you have 2 tiles and 2 halves. So I had to extend it. I will use the square and I will put some 20-minute or 45-minute joint compound and I will kind of build it up. I just want to make sure it's gonna look nice and it will be symmetrical. And we have exact same stuff on the back wall there, so which is pretty cool. Let me know, guys, if you can see me well and hear me well. Should be able to. I'm hoping. Today I also put some tile in master bathroom in a shower floor. It's like, how it's called, pebble stone or like river stone. So it's like flat polished tile. So we are almost done, guys, with this wall. And I intentionally started from the top. First thing, like if something goes down, you always can clean it, take care of that. But if you start from the bottom and you do the top, then you have all the mess, all this stuff. But we'll start cleaning it up from the top. So the same logic. I don't put any grout in the joint between the shower base and the tile first row because we want to do the same. We want to put some flexible caulking and make sure that we have our caulking and our corners flexible. All the inside corners, they should remain flexible. So the only way to achieve it is by using flexible materials like elastomeric stuff like silicone or color matching caulking. Okay, so we are done with this wall, and I have a lot of grout still because I want to do other walls, but now we're gonna just mix it and I'm gonna continue, but with a sponge this time. Thank you for joining, everyone. Thank you for your likes. We see and hear you well. That is great. So let me focus again on the top so you can see the top, and we'll start cleaning it out just like that. So let's go, guys. So I'm taking my sponge now. I'm gonna take the letter, and we don't have to apply a lot of pressure, and our sponge shouldn't be too wet. Just squeeze it, leave a little bit of the moisture in it, and let's go. So also you're gonna want to do it's already like drying here. So you want to do like a cross diagonal motions. In the corner we can do up and down, that's okay. And like I said, don't push too hard, and pretty much wipe it until you see that it's uniform. And also, like, you can do like movements along the tile also to cut it if you see that it's uneven. But just main thing, don't put a lot of pressure on it. That's it. That's the main stuff. Okay. That's it, guys. So this stuff dries pretty quick, I would say. There's too much on the corner, so I'll just use my finger pretty much to kind of like compress it and remove what's is definitely the excess, just like that. Because if I'll use a sponge, it will take too much time and it won't not look nice. So let's go. Also, if you see that you missed the spot, you always have some on the walls, and you can always kind of push it in if you skipped something and just use that material from where you see you put a lot of it. And that's it. If you have any uneven tiles, you just need to kind of like feather it in, blend it in, so they don't look like they are kind of like uneven. So like when I was just a apprentice and there was a skilled guy who taught me, he told me next thing. He said, there are always two ways. Like you can either make your tile look nice and beautiful by doing the grout right, or you can ruin the perfect, beautiful tile that was installed great by doing just a crappy work on your grout. So I definitely agree. I've seen it, and I've done it myself when I was just kind of like learning how to do that stuff. So unfortunately, we all human, we make mistakes, and I used to have my mistakes. That is how I learned how to do all that stuff. So pretty much, main logic is to do your like first wipe and clean it, and then after we're done, we can do like second wipe and all that stuff. But it will be somewhere closer to the time when it will start catching up, uh, hardening, I would say. And just perfect. Just great. It's always a pleasure to work with like sanded grout. Like I said, it blends and it looks like it's like kind of like shaving itself with these sand particles. And if you have any unevenness, just do like that. And just you have to use your eye pretty much to leave the desired kind of depth and the texture on your joint. So pretty much I go kind of like diagonal first, and then I just finalize by kind of like evening out the joint by like straight move, pretty much. Okay. So now it's all nice and good. So we did like half of this wall, and hi Mario Cavarella, if I'm saying it right. So hi Mario, thank you for joining. So we did the half on the top, and let's do that side as well, the bottom one. So again, I'm gonna use my finger to compress what I have in the corner, like along that Schluter trim, just like that, because it would be much harder to do with a sponge in the corner. And you want it to be also nice and even. You always want to make sure you get the Schluter that matches the thickness of your tile. It's like the main key. In this case, the guy who purchased this stuff, he got slightly different Schluter, but you can kind of blend it by making like a kind of curved edge, the grout on that seam. Perfect. But I mean, it looks outstanding. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Let me know in the chat where you're watching from, guys. Which state, if it's United States, or which country, if it's not United States. Because I had people from all over the world leaving comments and chatting. It's always great to see people from different corners of the world getting united just by the live stream and not divided. So it's pretty cool. It's one of the reasons I like YouTube, because I met quite a few great people through that. So thank you everyone for joining and for your support, for your subscriptions and your likes, guys. It means a lot. It means a lot to me. So I always also try to, like, when I have time to go and see other people go live, I would always like them if I like what they do. Okay, okay. Show me state. Show me state. Yeah. So my state is Tennessee. And at least it's where I'm located now. And I used to live in Ohio for the last 6 years. Yeah, 5 years, I would say. Probably 5.5. It was Ohio, Akron area, so I spent quite a few days there doing this kind of stuff. And before that, 6 years ago, I moved from Ukraine. So I lived in Ukraine originally. I was born there. And I learned how to do all this stuff pretty much over there. So that's how I know how to do this stuff. And of course, I learned quite a few things here. There's a different, like, you have like a framing houses here, and in Europe, there's more like a stone type of structures. But I like framing personally more because it's much easier. It's much easier to work with it. Like, it's more eco-friendly. Like when you deal with lumber, it's much easier to drill through, put your like electrical cables and stuff, plumbing. But when it comes to bricks, like, you have to put a lot of plaster, a lot of concrete on the floors, and it's like hundreds. Usually, it's like hundreds of bags of materials, and I'm talking about apartments. So like, it's much more popular in, like, Ukraine for people to have apartments because it's closer to like city to work and all that stuff. So there are some people who like private houses, but it's quite expensive to have one, and also you have to maintain it. So people understand that if you have like apartment, it's not a lot of stuff that can break. If you have if you have like a house, you have to always take care of that. And like, probably you guys can relate to that because it's like a lot of work. Or you just have a lot of stuff it's not functioning or not looking the way you want it to function or look, which is not great. So that's pretty much the main difference. So that's it, guys. So as you can see, we are almost done with that stuff. And it's not hardening yet, but it's already dry. on this wall. That's why I said I like ceramic when it comes to grout and all that stuff. So this wall is almost ready. So this shower will meet Thanksgiving being grouted, so it's gonna be nice and ready. Of course, no one will use it yet, but at least I would know that it's nice and ready. Give this live stream a like by double tapping your screen and subscribe to the channel, guys. Okay, so that is ready, guys. It is ready. This wall is nice and ready. So there is no need to give a final wipe right now because it's still wet inside the grout joint. It's still wet. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna switch to another wall. So we're gonna do the top. So good traits to have to be able to feed yourself. That's true. Yeah, that is 100% true. So let's do this wall, guys. I am ready to have this wall being grouted. I need to adjust my tripod to make sure, guys, you can see it. Let me know in the chat if you want to, like, where and how you're gonna spend your Thanksgiving. Since it's almost there, Missouri is the show me state. That's cool. That's cool. Now I know. I never knew that. So I'm gonna show how to have nice and beautiful grout in your bathroom today. And pretty soon the guys will start putting the hardwood in this house. So I want to be able to do as much as I can before they will start, because then it will be hard for me to not to leave any mess. I would have to kind of worry about all that stuff. So usually you want to always pay extra attention to the joints that are on the eye side, and it's like the same logic. It's always for everything. Like when you do tile or you finish anything, like always pay close attention. It doesn't mean that you can and you need to screw up the rest, but it's always like when person will be taking shower, they will be kind of like staring at these joints and thinking like, what a great professional, or what a what a scumbag it was, this tile setter. So it's better to make sure it's nice and even. And it's quite easy to do with this FA grout. So it's still nice and creamy in the bucket. So let's continue, guys. I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to do the whole shower. So for this wall, it's a little bit bigger than the side wall. I mean, so the way I'll be dealing with it, I'll do the top from here, and I'll wipe it, and then I'll do the bottom. So you can already see how good it is when you have your tile clean. So last time I tried to work clean. I haven't cleaned anything before I started. It is the way it was, because so I'm gonna put some here and I'll be using it as my tray. So yeah, it's just the way how it came out after I finished tiling. So it's really important. Like I've seen some tile guys putting tile like they're, I don't know, like it's the last project that they work on, because it's like so messy and slappy, all that stuff, and I don't like work like that, because I mean it's just kind of the way I am. And also you want to have your tile clean and your seams and joints to be clean, because then you just come and you do your grout and it's nice and clean, just like that. Okay. Let me know in the chat, guys, how much time it would take me to finish that whole shower, to grout it, I mean. Okay. And let me know also if you think that I'll be able, this is fast setting grout, and do you think if I'll be able to finish it just in one mix, like I did? I mixed the bucket, and let me know if you think that I'll be able to finish it or not, because it's like the whole shower. It's not just like some small area. And by the way, there will be different grout on the back of the niche, since we have different tile there, so it's going to be different grout for that, and it will be a little bit more darker. It is called iron. So okay, just like that. Perfect. Okay. And also it's good to have your lights, like both of them on, so you can see exactly the way it should be. I wish it was on when I was tiling, but I had my own light kind of installed. You might see that thing, this loop from the wire, it was to hold my light. And I have it installed now in a different bathroom in this house. So let me check the chat, guys. Hi Brandon, where are you located? I need a couple bathroom redone. I'm in Tri-Cities, Tennessee. It's bad to have two bathrooms that needs to be redone. I'm hoping that you just have old bathrooms, not the bathrooms that are screwed up, because I had some people, unfortunately, who hired company, and then the company screwed up, and it's not where you want to be. So this house is located on the hilltop, so pretty beautiful sight to see. Kind of hard to go up because I don't drive my truck now. I'm waiting till I can get the time and fix the timing chain on it, because timing chain kind of got bad, and it's like the whole deal to change it. But when you use a front drive, sometimes it's hard to get on the job site, especially when it's raining. So that's it. So yeah, you just make sure you press into the joints nice and good, and you don't leave any holes. You just fill it in. It's better to have more, like a little bit of excess on the top of it. And again, it's only for the ceramic, and glaze tile, because if you have texture, if you apply it like I do now, without like making the tiles damp, Or sometimes you have even pre-sealed tiles before you do your grout, because if you want, your grout will stick to the tile where it's not supposed, or the way it's not supposed to be, and you might ruin the whole work. And I had it too, like I had people who were, like I had a customer that had me redo her shower, and she said the guys who came, they built everything, not they built it wrong. They they put the sanded grout over the extremely glazed tile, and it was all scratched. So then they had to demo that whole shower and install another 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 try. So pretty much they had to install the tile again. They did that, and then they failed the installation itself. So I had to come and redo the bathroom. So, and it was actually like 4-inch, 4x4, like white, kind of retro style tile. They used to have these tiles in the bathrooms like back in 90s, 70s, and stuff like that. So she wanted to kind of like keep the style of the house. And you see how great it looks like when I plant my niche and I have exact line and solid tiles on the top. It's like, this is where the kind of skill comes handy. When you pre-plan stuff, it's better to spend one day planning than spend a few days redoing stuff. It's much better. Just like that. Let me check the chat. Okay, thank you guys for joining, for staying tuned. Whew. It's really hot, especially like trying to work fast. It's kind of hot, so perfect. Perfect landing. It's perfect. It's good that I have a cardboard installed, so okay. It's always like you always want to finish the whole wall. This is the way it works. You start and you'll be like, oh, I want to do the wall from the start to finish, but believe me, like sometimes it's unpredictable when this stuff can start kind of like catching up. And if you have too much applied, then you won't be able to clean it. I won't be doing inside the niche now because it takes more time compared to just regular regular surface of the wall. So I will do that at the very end if I will have the grout still workable in workable condition. Just like that. Okay, so now I will fill those few joints and I'll start wiping it off. I remember my first attempt was to do the grout. So I was a helper pretty much. I was young. I was probably 15 years old or 16 maybe. And there was a tile setter that was doing some, he worked on the house. So he noticed me and he was like, "You seems like a good guy. I have some grout that I can actually delegate for you to do." So I was happy and I said, "Of course, I mean, I can do grout. I like grout and everything when it comes to like getting paid, I liked it." So I said, "Sure, why not?" And I knew nothing. Hello, good job. Thank you, Khaled Kanofi. Thank you, Khaled. Thank you very much. I'm trying to do the good job, and now I'm gonna do even better job with the comments like yours. So, and he said, "Okay, here's your here's your grout. So pretty much you mix it and you do the grout." And I was like, "Okay." So, but he gave me no tools pretty much. So he gave me the mixer to mix, and that's it. And I started doing that. And the thing is that I had no putty knife, like I had no trowel, no nothing. What I had is pretty much my fingers, and I thought that it's gonna be enough. So I ended up finishing the shower, and it was like really big. There, it was the whole room had the tile, and it was maybe about like 9 inches by 15, I would say. And that whole, like it had a like a pool. It's like small, tiny, like a tub type, pretty much like a tub or tiny pool that was all made from tile. It was all finished with tile. So I use my fingers to fill all these joints because at least I use them to kind of like level all these joints, make them even, and I wanted them to look nice. And it was the only way I was able to figure it out because the guy, he did the tile and then he went to vacation, and I had no one to ask the question about it. And you see, it's actually like I trusted people back then, so I could have been just not paid or something. But probably the guy who hired me would have not paid him if he would screw me up over. So I ended up having all my fingers, guys. All my fingers, they were bloody like after. So when it started bleeding, I would like switch the finger, so then I can continue continue growling. So I kind of messed up my whole, like both of my hands. They were all with scars and wounds. But I finished that, and I was holding my money with my with my wounded fingers, and I was happy that now I know a lot about the grout and I can do the grout. So this is the way it was. It was my first time. And back then, like YouTube wasn't such a thing, so you can just go and look it on YouTube. The guys were just figuring out what it is, and it was not a lot of information. So yeah, that's it. But I mean, it's always good to learn. I remember over at that house where I tried my first grout, I also, the guy who did wallpapers, he hired me to put wallpapers. I mean, not to put them, but just to help him. It was a ceiling, so we were putting the wallpapers on the ceiling. There was a guy who was also doing art, like a drawings kind of for, it was a kid's room, so he was drawing some kind of castle and like clouds, so some kind of like fairy type style drawing. And he noticed me and he was like, "Hey, man, I see you do a lot of stuff here. Don't you want to do like a background for me, like a just pretty much to paint the wall blue and just using this kind of brush do the kind of like white stuff so it would look like clouds." And I was like, sure, why not? And I did that for this kind of artist guy, painter. So, and he was like, he was pretty fancy. I remember he had like nice expensive car, nice expensive tools, and he even paid me like in euros. So it was quite rare. So I was happy about getting those money. All I needed back then is just to have some work, know that I can do something and be proud of myself. And also, like I had a scooter at that time, so I was riding. You should have had like a license, but I was too stupid to do that, so I was riding without without any license and sometimes running from cops not to get caught. So it wasn't a good it wasn't a good thing to do, but I was too young. So at the same time, it was quite cool experience. Thank you for staying tuned, guys. Thank you for joining. Like this live stream by double tapping your screen and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. So as you can see, we just cleaned the half of that wall almost, and I still have time to do the bottom, and I'm pretty certain that I can do the side wall as well. So yeah, you see when you go like slightly side to side, it's even cutting, so you can make nice looking joint, just like that, just like that. And it's not a lot of dirt from this grout, especially it's like a gray color. And I remember first time when I was like, I had this shower that it was a green tile, so the color of the tile was green, and they also asked to put green grout. So man, it was terrible. So that grout, like the color was almost feeling like I don't know some toxic stuff. So you have it all over your hands, you have it everywhere, and it's just not great, not great thing. Okay, so yeah, it looks really nice. I like it a lot. And it's gonna dry, and it will look even better. Let me know in chat if you can hear and see me well, guys. Just want to make sure the quality is good and the sound is good as well. Okay. Yeah. And then after, when it's dry, you just have to use like a microfiber, or I like better cheesecloth. So cheesecloth helps you to clean it. You'll have to wear a mask because you will have quite few dust particles, but you will clean it and it will shine you like just like new, like brand new, like almost there was no grout. Perfect. Yeah, so pretty much for cutting, to cut leftovers nice and evenly, you just use like an angled motions. And when you want to do the final kind of wipe, you want to do it like along the seam, along the joint, so then it looks nice and you leave the kind of line kind of straight type of a line. And I can tell you how happy I am to see that all these like this niche is just perfectly symmetrical. I mean, it's always great to see it that way. Not that when you have some kind of chunks, and I've seen quite a few like tile setters who will be like, okay, let's put the niche right here. So they just randomly drop their niche and then it's all like chunky, wonky. And people, they're not even ashamed to post their works like that. I mean, I know it's not always the case that you can do the niche this way, but if you can, it's better to do it. So, okay, so this is ready. Just give it a little wipe. And the same stuff, everything that guys on the eyesight level, you want it to be just ideal. So then the customer would be satisfied watching the quality of his tile, not upset, but happy. So thank you, Face 13 Store, Tri-Cities, Tennessee. Reviewing cotton, more interesting than the other live stuff I've seen. Thank you. It's really great to know that. I'm happy to hear it. It's great to know that. So let me move this camera. I'll probably move it now so you can see more. So here it is. It's wonderful that you take pride in your work. Thank you. Thank you. I also think so, because it's a lot of people who don't want to take care in their pride and I mean in their craft, and it's already enough of them, so it's better to make a difference. And also, like, you want to people see your work and be like, man, you're good, like you do the good stuff. And especially like customers, they would have their friends come and they will be like, who did your tile? And they will be like, yeah, this guy, he did a great job. So they would just call you and say, yeah, you did the tile for a friend of mine. I want you to come and do my tile. So then you'll have pretty much word of mouth and not much spent into the marketing and all that stuff. So thank you. I'm trying to do my best. And I think that like we all have certain calling on our life, and you have to be faithful in what you do, and you need to do it like it was for the God. So it's the way it should be done. And also, like, you will be able to get greater responsibilities if you are faithful in what you do. So if if you can do a good grout job, why not to give you more and better. Guys, always make sure you protect your knees and your hands. It's like when you do the grout, just get yourself the box of gloves from like Harbor Freight, whatever. So these are from Harbor Freight. It's like $14, and it's like medium duty. I think they also have like heavy duty stuff that is like black gloves. And protect your hands, because for the skin, if you want protect your skin, then you will regret it the next day, because it will be all your hands will be messed up next day. The skin will dry out, and then it will start cracking, peeling, and all that stuff. And it's a terrible feeling. So it's not good. I've been there. I had my hands peeling off. Like it's not great. So, and it's not that much money to buy a pair of, not a pair, but like the box of these gloves, and they will serve you more than just one project. You can use them for anything. If it's for your house, for like painting or any other stuff. And also your knees, because like, especially if you do it for a living, guys. I've seen quite a few people here who replaced their joints, their knees, elbows, shoulders, whatever, hips. And first, it's like, it's something that will be permanent. You won't be able to change it. And there is no project that worth like ruining your knees or your any aspect of your house. And also, nobody will like, some people might rush you and be like, especially like if you work for a company, they'll be like, hey, let's go faster, let's do faster, we have to be faster. But then when you have like problems with your house, it will be just you and your family dealing with it. So keep this in mind, and just you're the one who are responsible for your own health and for your own life. So just take care of yourself and protect yourself. I know, like sometimes I also can skip and maybe not put them if it's something small or I don't have, but like not on a daily basis. Like I've seen people would be like not wearing them while they're professional tile setters. And I had quite few people who are like in age and retired professionals, and they were always telling me the same stuff, man, wear your safety gear, like your protection. So I always try to wear my knee pads, my hearing protection, because I also at some point I had an ear infection, and after that, I mean, my hearing is not the way it should be, not the way it was when I was just born. And also, when I make any loud noises at work, it affects my hearing as well. So protect your hearing as well when you cut stuff. And it's really important, guys. Okay. So this is the biggest wall in the shower. We are almost done with it. What does it mean? It means that we're gonna start working on the side wall pretty soon, and we still might be able to do it in one shot if I will have enough grout. So because I mixed, and might be not enough, but I can say for sure now. And also, like, if you mess up any of your joints, then it's like really expensive to build all this stuff and have your metal knees or whatever. It's really painful. I always hear people saying, man, it hurts, man, it hurts. Even recently, I was like, mm, I was going to, I went to Lowe's, and there was a lady going out of it, like on this, like a kind of wheelchair type cart that they have, like the one with wheels on the battery. So, and she was approaching her car with the huge like flower pot, the pot for the flowers. So, and I was like, I was looking at her, the speed and all that stuff, and I was like, how is she gonna load it in her car? So I came to her and I said, lady, do you need help with that thing? And she said, yes, please, because I just got my knee replacement and it hurt so much. And she was so happy that I was there to help her. So I was happy too, but at the same time, it was painful for me just to watch her because I can tell that she's like suffering from that surgery, even though it's gonna be helpful for her in future. But yeah, I mean, and it might be okay. Like I heard some people say that it's kind of helped them and they feel much better. But I also had guys who would say, man, it was like the worst decision in my life because now I like it's sore. But I think it makes difference if you like somebody who is just retired uh, getting this surgery to kind of like keep being retired and just try to walk and stuff. I mean, I can tell for sure because I never been there, but I think it's just my thoughts that it's probably different if you have to go back to work and go on your knees and keep working like that with that thing being replaced, other than when you have to just pretty much walk and do like normal kind of put normal load on that kind of stuff. Okay. Okay, so yes, that's how you build your name and reputation for your livelihood. Thank you, that's for sure. God bless you for helping her. She no doubt was a senior. Yeah, that's true. That's true, and I was happy that I was there around to help because, like, if I was at her place, I would want to have some help at that point. And I think we all should do help. We should help each other. So, guys, give this live stream a like and subscribe to the channel. And I'm gonna go and continue wiping this stuff. So it's been already like 73 minutes, and it's still good enough. I remember when I was live streaming one installation, and I think it was like either 90 minutes or like something around it when it started hardening. So I have to be fast here now, especially with wiping it because I don't want it to start kind of like catching on me. And probably for this wall, I will do the health kind of like because I have a feeling that it might start hardening, but we'll see. I might be lucky. So yeah, it's always the balance. Like you have to be fast, but you also don't have to skip any stuff because you want your joints to look nice and even. And like I said in the previous live stream, I wet shimmed. I made this wall plumb and level. By the way, I just made video on how to make your walls plump and level, so you can check it out on my channel. It's like a long form video. So I made just this wall nice and plump, and those two walls, they were just the way they were. I just tried to flatten them as good as I could. So as you can see, it looks pretty decent, especially after I put the silicone, like caulking, on the corners. It's gonna look just nice and perfect. So that's it. Always make sure that you mask your shower base or whatever you have on the floor in your shower, because that stuff also is kind of like, it's gonna grab like crazy. Like when it dries, like now when it's still in workable condition, you can have it and shape it nice and easy. But when it dries, you can scrape it with your like razor blade, anything. It's just terrible, because it's extremely durable, extremely strong material. So that haze that's being left on this wall, on the side wall, it's gonna be extremely easy to remove it next day or day after. Just make sure you don't leave any buildup and any stuff like that. And again, it's a rapid setting grout, so you have to make sure it's nice and clean right away. If you have your sponge on the floor like I just did, you always have to refresh it, because you don't want to have any debris in your joints. Okay, just like that. Guys, let me know in the chat if you like it, if you like the outcome. I mean, it's not the outcome yet, but at least it's the outcome of our grout work. So always pay attention to those like tails, I would call them, like at the very bottom, because if you don't put enough grout there, it will look unfinished, and then when you put the caulking, it might also look not great. So okay, perfect. So guys, this wall is ready, and I'm gonna double check the grout. Okay, it feels like it start catching up, but like I said, I should be able to grout this wall as well. So let's try. You're doing an amazing job. Yeah, right. That's why we are here, to help one another. That's true, guys. Because we are all parts of one body, and we're all supposed to function and be helpful to one another. That's true, Uncommon Woman. Thank you for staying tuned. And let me know, like, if the quality is good, if you can hear me well, and if you can see me well too. And I'm gonna continue filling the top first, and then we'll switch to the bottom. Sorry, I know my phone might be shaking a little bit. It's because I have the board of like baking board on the floor that is protecting the tile. Okay, so I have enough grout, and it seems like I also have enough time, guys. And again, it's like I said, it's rapid setting. I've seen people saying that it's like impossible to do even one wall with that grout. I mean, if you wait a long time before you clean it, then of course it's a problem. Like, imagine you have to wait until it starts catching up. Then it will be quite longer. So there are two ways when it comes to porcelain. So with ceramic, you see, I apply it and it kind of dries in the joint right away. But what to do with porcelain? Like, it's not that easy, and it won't become firm in the joint. So what you do, you just mix it slightly thicker. I would say not even slightly thicker, quite thicker. And then when you use your sponge to make your tile slightly wet, you just need to make it wet. And then when you apply your grout, it becomes kind of workable because you put some water with your sponge on the tile. And then it will dry in your seams faster because it's not that kind of creamy as you usually get the grout when you mix it. So okay guys, I'm not quite sure how fast it will grab. It might grab right in the middle of the wall, and we don't want that to happen. So what I will do now, I'll get my sponge and I'll clean that right away, because it feels like it's starting to catch up and harden. You go with your finger again and you make it thinner in the corner here, just like that. And yeah, I'm gonna get my sponge. Let me check the grout. Yeah, it's much better in the bucket. It's probably just because I'm kind of using the grout that was on the wall. So I'll do a little bit more of the grout, just like that, just like that. Yeah, and it looks like I have enough for the whole shower, so hopefully if it won't harden on me, because usually it's just like a second. You'll be working, and then it's like, bams, here we are, and it's hardening. So okay, we did the half, and since it's also the top and we have the hot air going up, I will start wiping it off, guys, just to make sure. It's always to make sure that you can clean your walls. Sorry for shaking. Hearing and seeing you very well. Thank you. That's great to know. Thank you very much for joining, for your likes and your subscriptions. So let's go. Let's go, and we'll start from the very top. Yeah, I mean, it works exactly the way it should. just perfect. Yeah, I just love this grout, guys. And again, for those of you who don't know, it's a uh, Mape Ultra Color FA plus FA. So it's sanded grout replacement, and it's really easy to work with it, especially if you want to complete your shower like nice and quick, because you'll be able to witness it yourself. Like when I clean this shower, I mean, I started this live stream when there was no grout in the joints, and now I'm almost done with the very last wall, and I'm trying to be fast just in order to complete it and not to have to go back to this again, because like it's gonna be different grout on the back of the niche, and I still need to do the sides, and we'll see. I'm hoping that I will have some time to finish it before the grout will harden. Okay, perfect. And I should be able, because usually like the instruction says you have to apply it in the joints, then wait for 15 minutes. And again, they are not clarifying if you have porcelain or ceramic or glass tile. Like it's gonna be different time for each tile. And also, like if you installed your tiles just yesterday and you have this since it's still wet, or you installed it like few days ago, also nobody's clarifying this in instruction. They give you just general kind of idea, and usually like it's normal, you have to let it dry for maybe like 2 days and have the moisture evaporate from your joints, because if you install it right away, you will kind of seal your the moisture there, and it will take longer time for it to operate through the joint. That's why also they created like epoxy thin set, so you can install it and it's not like water based, so you can pretty much grout it right away, and also it allows you to do like a quick job. So yeah, usually it's just 2 days you have to wait before you grout. So yeah, you can see in person that my approach it's quite right, because it's just, as you can see, 88 minutes. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. You won't be disappointed, and it's free. Here you will find great content and helpful information. Thank you, Uncommon Woman. I really appreciate your support and every one of you. Thank you, guys. It's really good to have nice people on your side. It's really great. So nowadays, like in our society, when you have all these like kind of consumers mindset, and some people they just don't like to to make hard things for themselves. Like in order to think and learn, you have to kind of make your brain work, and unfortunately, like all this social media stuff makes people become more dumb. So when it comes to like thinking and educational content, it's not that sexy, if I can say so, compared to like when somebody pooped somewhere and they're all laughing. So it's quite easy to consume that, and then you can get your dopamine kind of dopamine hit, and you feel happy. but like learning something, it's not that easy. It's not that easy, but we'll see. Now with all this AI stuff, there will be tons of jobs that are gonna be replaced. Because I remember when I had some people say like, "Well, I'm like IT worker and I'm not afraid of AI overtaking my job and all that stuff." But then a few years after, I hear absolutely different view on that topic. So people think that it's like, I mean, of course, it will take some time, but some people are already getting replaced. Even like just take in consideration the fact that like you used to have all these websites and people used to do websites and it was a big deal. But now you can just go to AI platform and it's gonna generate website for you. You will just need to give it some data and it will even give you some options. So I think it will be a lot of stuff that will be replaced. But AI can come in your house and do the grout. So I think the only way how they can replace uh, kind of manual labor is just by having some like kind of factory built homes where you kind of like have no choice other than living in this house or this type of a house. So but anyways it will be people assembling all this stuff on the factories, or unless if they're gonna 3D print it. So but again it's still like I can see it's been a thing, and we'll see, time will show all that stuff. So there is a lot of advantages people have nowadays with all this like technological stuff, but it's also a lot of disadvantages because people used to go outside, like talk to one another. I mean, read newspapers and stuff, but now it's just all this digital. People, they are hooked to their smartphones, and that's it. Especially like here, people drive more like their cars. Maybe somewhere like in New York, where it's more traffic, and sometimes it's not such an advantage to have a car. It is different, but if you see people in subway, they will be all like staring in their phones, and it's like the whole thing nowadays. Guys, subscribe to the channel and give this live stream a like by double tapping your screen. It will give me more motivation to create content like that and go live, because it's also quite a work. I was gonna say, because you have to set up all that stuff, have everything charged, have your. I can already see that my microphone is dead, so let me switch it. It's probably one of the reasons why. Okay, give me a second, guys. I'm gonna get my microphone detached and put another one in the charger. Hope you and your family